Hi everyone, this is Shlomo Arel here with Kel Realty. And like always, I always try to bring you the best services in town or my preferred services. And one of the best services and a good service to use is an inspector. So today I have Clear Perspective Home Inspection and I have Dominic with me, which is the owner of the company.
How you doing?
How you doing, Dominic?
Good.
Good. No complaints in a 40 plus sunny day in Chicago here. And you know, inspection is one of the things that you do when you buy a home. Right after you go under contract, you order an inspection most of the time, 99%. But also, it's good for sellers to do an inspection. So, Dominic, why is it actually good to have an inspection for a home?
Okay. Let's start off with the easier one first. A seller, when they're selling their home, want to
Right.
make sure they can sell it in a reasonable amount of time for the most amount of money that they can get.
Right.
And by trying to go in there and find all the major things that we can inside there, it gives the homeowner an opportunity to repair some of these things,
Right.
probably get more money for it, and help sell it faster.
Absolutely. You're right.
Okay,
Yeah.
now on the other side, for a buyer, it's a big investment. You're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on a piece of property. Would you go out and make an investment in, your future without hiring accounting or someone that knows how to take care of your financial planning?
Right.
It's no different. We go into a home, we check every component that we can find in the house, the electrical, the plumbing, the structural. We check the appliances. We give you an overall view of what's going on in the house. We'll point out, if it's a high-end quality windows, if you need a lot of repairs in there, is there major expenses in here, any serious safety concerns. And this in return will give you an opportunity to evaluate your options.
Right.
Is this too much for me? Is this the perfect house? We're always going to find more than you're expecting. Usually a lack of maintenance is pretty common, but what we're really there for is the major fixes.
Okay.
For example,
Yeah.
okay, I had a next door neighbor that moved in, knocked on my door. She seen that my truck out there, Clear Perspective, and she says, "Can you come over for a second? I smell gas in the house." So I go in there and I noticed that when I observed the furnace, 3 of the burners were kicking on, 3 of them were clogged and were just spewing out gas. I told her she needed to shut this off immediately, didn't want the house to explode,
Right.
and needed to get an HVAC guy out. Within a few days, I noticed the truck outside, and they had to replace the furnace, which cost her $2,500, $3,000. If in fact she would have gotten the inspection, which would have been $300-400,
Right.
she could have saved herself a ton of money, renegotiated the offer, had the furnace fixed or replaced, amongst other things we might have found inside there.
Right. That couldn't be a better example than that. So, like you said, on the buyer side, you come in, you want to make sure it's like your insurance that everything is working, is in good shape. Or if you find some defective, you can actually renegotiate it in the contract. For sellers, it's important because you can fix those things beforehand, before that buyer comes and find all these defective things. So you can actually fix those, and when inspection comes, they find pretty much almost a perfect home, but you never had a perfect home. Good. So, I'm going to ask, like I ask everyone, what is the most common question that you usually get for inspector?
Good question. It's a knee-jerk reaction. You're always looking for someone to solidify the reason why you should buy this house. So
Why you should buy this house? Okay.
I've done this even for realtors. Realtors call me all the time, even for their own homes.
Okay.
And they know that I can't give them that answer, but the first thing they ask after the inspection's done, so what do you think? Should I buy this home?
Right.
Unfortunately, as an inspector, I have to stay a neutral party, and I can't give you that answer. First off, I don't even know what you're looking for. Everybody's reason for buying a house is different. Some want it as an investment. Some people want something that's turnkey that has nothing wrong with it. Some of them are there for the school district.
Right.
So I couldn't give you an answer to that question anyway.
Right. But what they can give us is all the information about the house. And one of the reasons I actually work with Dominic for so many years is actually because of the experience and the knowledge. And I have to say I learned a lot from all the inspection I went, and I go to all of the inspections, and I really learned a lot. So not going to become inspector, but tell us a little bit, what were you doing before you became an inspector and had your own company?
I was a tradesman for most of my life. I'd say over 35 years in construction.
Okay.
From a union mason, bricklayer, tuck pointing, stuff like that. I've evolved into wanting to do more stuff as far as finishing basements, room additions, custom office suites, roof work, and on and on.
Pretty much building a whole house.
Right.
Yeah.
And years later, I moved on and became a union carpenter, building homes, framing them in, doing the trim work, cabinets. So for me, when I became an inspector, having all that knowledge coming in did make my job a lot easier. Second nature, actually. Now I've been an inspector about 15 years.
Okay.
And I still learn every day. Having this knowledge has made it much easier. It's not really my job to tell you why it's happening, mostly to tell you this is broke, this ain't working right, recommend that you hire a contractor to come in and evaluate or fix it. But having someone like me with the experience in there is useful. I 9 times out of 10 can look at something and tell you the reason why it's like this, or this is an expensive fix, or this is a minor fix. Is going to give you a lot more detail to my inspection. Feel free to walk around with me on the inspection. I will tell you it's going to be a little overwhelming. My average house, or I'd say just about every house, has lack of maintenance. Something that they couldn't keep up with. It's like a used car. Something's always going on. Feel free to walk around with me. You're going to forget 90% of what I tell you. The good thing is it's going to be in a book or email format. You can print it out so you can have a copy for yourself. And to give you an example why my background is important, for me anyway, and helpful for you, I had a client I was pulling up on an inspection for. It was a beautiful neighborhood. I looked at the outside of the house. I'm always looking for red flags, concerns.
With a buyer?
Right.
Yeah.
And I noticed in the ridge of the house that there was a serious bolt. Looked like a brand new roof. House, again, was in immaculate condition. I pointed that out to my client when we walked inside. I told him I would go inside and evaluate it towards the end when I'm ready to go up in the attic.
Okay.
We continued through our inspection. Again, the client overwhelmed with to perfection, the high quality and the appliances and everything. It was a no-brainer they were going to buy this house.
Oh, wow.
I go up in the attic at the end to take a look at the bowl that was in the ridge to find out. It appeared, this is just my opinion, that during the construction of the roof, when they were installing it, instead of laying out the shingles and spreading them out to distribute the weight, they apparently must have put the pallet in the center of the roof and dropped it, causing the crack split in the in the ridge joist, the ridge board, and also the rafters.
Oh.
So
wow.
Now this new roof that was just installed,
brand new roof, pretty much,
has to be tore back off again. All the plywood has to be removed, and now the structure of the roof has to be rebuilt.
Oh, wow.
So if my client didn't hire us for this inspection, that would have been about a $25,000 repair. Now they would have been stuck with.
Yeah. Because that will be, yeah, oh wow, that's great example, great story, and just not to scare everyone, it doesn't happen every day.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah,
You know,
but on another hand,
we're there to make sure stuff like that doesn't slip through the cracks, and you don't wind up being the person holding the cards on that.
right, and that's a small, fraction of the amount that you would have paid, $25,000. You only pay for the inspection $300, $400, $500. So it's really a fraction of what you would have paid if that buyer would go and not having an inspection.
Right.
And like you said, the house was in perfect condition, and even the seller, by the way, I don't think he realized that he had that
Pulled the
problem.
proper permit, expected everything to be okay, did everything right, and still there was problems.
Right. So that shows you on both ends, seller and buyer, that it's always good to have an inspection. Great. So again, why you should have an inspection when you buy a house, when you sell a house, you have all the answers here. And if you don't have any answers yet, please give me a call, give Dominic a call. You have his information right here. He's been in the business, 15 years as an inspector, but like I said, a lot more years in the business of building, renovating, and building houses. So he has the knowledge and experience. Dominic, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
For coming today and explaining and sharing your knowledge. It's important for all our audience. And until the next time, thank you all. I hope to have another video for you guys. Thank you very much, Dominic.
Have a good one.
You too, guys. We'll see you soon.